Hi, I'm Alfonso Parrado. I've suffered from social anxiety since I was a kid until recently. I worked on it doing therapy by audio tapes, and I can finally say that I no longer suffer from this disorder. So I just wanted to make this video to help you guys out there, to give you some advice so you won't commit the mistake that I did when I started. So what is social anxiety? Social anxiety is a fear of people. When you feel that you are so scrutinized by other people that you can't function. You know, it's related to shyness, but it's really more deep than that and more problematic than that. And I don't really want to talk about it because there are so many articles about it, and you can just search it on Wikipedia. You can see interviews from some doctors and explain it. Social anxiety is basically that you are too afraid of people, that you can't control yourself, and definitely that you have irrational thoughts and feelings. Even if you know that you shouldn't be anxious, even if you know that there's no reason for you to blush or to feel bad about yourself, you have low self-esteem, you have this feeling that you're going to die, that everything is going to be wrong, it's definitely, I think it's irrational feelings that don't accompany your mind. Because you may be rational, but your body doesn't go with you. Your body is doing other things. And that's the most important thing, I think, about social anxiety, that it's not something that you can fight rationally. It's not something that that someone's going to talk you out of it, or that you can snap out of it. It's your feelings. You may be smart enough to know when you should be nervous and when you shouldn't, but it's about your feelings. It's something that we've never been taught in school or with our education. And it's something really important. We have to work on not just in your thoughts, in your mind, in your ideas. You also have to work on your feelings. A lot of people develop social anxiety because of criticism, because of bullying, and because of things like that. My case was kind of similar, but I don't really want to get into it because, you guys really don't care about it. You just want to overcome it. And that's one of the important things about this. You shouldn't look at the past. You don't want to study social anxiety. That's for therapists and for other people, for doctors. If you want, do it, but that's not going to help you overcome it. If you study social anxiety, you're going to know how it works, you're going to know what it triggers it, but it's not going to change. Because like I said, it's something that it's not rational. It's about your feelings. So even if you analyze it, you're not going to overcome it. So how to overcome it? First, the most important thing that I think you have to realize is that social anxiety is not a part of you. And what I mean by this is that you weren't born with that. It's not something that is your genes, although genetically, there's a predisposition to have this syndrome. But it's not you. You weren't born with social anxiety. You didn't choose social anxiety. And even though it's sad to admit it, people that insulted you or that criticized you in a repeated way, they fucked up your brain, and that's exactly what happened. And your brain has this syndrome because of those people. And definitely it's not your fault. It's their fault, people or circumstances or whatever, but it's not your fault. Even though it's not your fault, you're the only one who can be responsible for your healing. So it is like that. So there are two things that you really shouldn't do. One is to drink alcohol or use drugs to cope with social anxiety. If you want to drink alcohol because of you like it, okay. But do not use it to cope with social anxiety, because that's something that a lot of people tend to do. And although it works, you may use it and anxiety may be diminished somehow, it's not going to help you in the way that you want. It's not going to be long term. It's not going to fuck up. It's going to fuck up your body, and it's not going to let you overcome it in a long term. It's not a long term solution. So definitely stay out of alcohol and that. And that, well, there are some pills that you can take if you go to a therapist. But I know this is something really hard for people with social anxiety, depending on the level that you had it. But for me, it was hard to go to a therapist. Just to make the phone call, it would be so stressing and so anxious. So definitely, I understand if you don't want to go to a therapist, or if you are like me and you don't want to take pills. But there are people that need it, especially there are kids that have selective mutism, which is the extreme form of social anxiety, people that really can't talk when they are kids. And definitely, pills and some medicine may help them. So I'm not against that at all. If you have a kid that have that, take it to the therapist. But the first thing that I said that you shouldn't do is to drink alcohol. Well, kids don't have really a problem with this, but a lot of people do. And second, don't be aggressive. You won't snap out of social anxiety. It's not gonna disappear. You shouldn't take yourself. This is not shyness. You shouldn't take yourself in fighting. Put yourself in front of 100 people or 1,000 people and give a speech, because the thing that is going to happen is that you're not gonna be able to do it, and your social anxiety is gonna increase. So don't be aggressive. That's not the way to fight social anxiety. You shouldn't even fight it. You should accept it and then change it, transform yourself. So that's really important. Another important thing is to don't dwell on the past. Leave the past behind. I know if you had social anxiety, you've suffered a lot, and definitely you probably have a lot of horrible events in your memory. But don't dwell on that. The only way to overcome this is to look at the future and to change from now. You can't change the past, and it won't help you to remember and dwell on all these things. So focus on the future, focus on your present, and keep moving. So also realize that this is an emotional issue. You won't remove it with rational thoughts, even if you're smart. Something that you may know that you shouldn't feel nervous, that there's no reason to feel anxious about, buying bread on a grocery store shop. But, you have it. It's not a rational thing. You're not going to change it, like I said, being aggressive or just in a moment. It's something that is an emotional issue. It's, to treat it, you have to use other techniques. That is not just snap out, or it is not just, want to get out. That there's an emotional issue there, and you gotta work with your feelings, not with your mind, which is hard to do at first. So, the ways to overcome it, there are two mainly. One is the pills that I talked about, but if you really don't suffer from it in a really, really high level, as those cases that I talked about before, I don't think you need it. But that's definitely your call. And the other way, the way that helped me, is CBT. CBT is cognitive behavioral therapy, and I made this by the online therapy that I found with Dr. Richards, that I'm gonna leave the link down in the description box. And this guy just made 20 tapes, a set of 20 tapes that I purchased from his webpage. Although, if you don't want to purchase it, you can find it in a pirate version. But I would really recommend that if you do it and it works for you, support this guy, because it really deserves it. So, the cognitive behavioral therapy works on that emotional level that you're not gonna get that easy as just snapping out of it. It works with your thoughts. It turns your irrational thinking and feeling into more rational thinking and feelings. By really making yourself question all those negative comments that you have in your head. When you're gonna give a speech, or just talk to someone, or you think about something and you have a lot of worry, it's gonna help you realize that it's not that important. What is and what it isn't a big deal, and it's gonna help you to just be more rational. So it takes time, but there is no chance of failing. If you do the therapy, you'll overcome it. Just try to do it. You won't lose anything, but definitely, it's not, you can't even question yourself. I am the proof that works, and I thought that it was going to work, but I wasn't really sure about it, and it's been great. I also didn't know how long it was gonna take. So it did. In 6 months, I overcame it in this way. You know, it just took me half hour every day and 1 hour in the weekends to listen to the tapes, but it really works. And I really want you guys to know that there is a possibility to change. Do not conform yourself with having social anxiety. It's something that is not your fault. It's not a part of you. And once you remove it, you know, life really changes. You know, I was afraid of going to college because I had to speak and I have to, you know, to talk with a lot of people and meet new people and live by myself alone, away from my parents. And all of that seemed overwhelming to me at first, you know. I mean, I didn't have a lot of social anxiety. Also, I mean, like I said, I self-diagnosed it. Definitely, I'm sure that I had social anxiety. But also, a guy on Reddit, I was a psychologist, a therapist, told me that I have like a mild social anxiety. But I definitely had it. I mean, I have all the symptoms. So for me, it was hard to, you know, to think about going to college. It was hard to go to high school even, and because I didn't want to talk, I didn't want to speak up. I got so nervous. I couldn't do the things. I got locked in my room. A lot of times I couldn't go out, couldn't buy the stuff that I needed, you know, and just to go to a grocery shop and buy bread would be something really, really anxiety arousing for me. So I don't know, definitely I know that, you know, that social anxiety, it's hard and that you think that there's no way out, but there is. And the best thing is that it's not an aggressive way. You know, I tried being aggressive. You know, I tried just beating myself up every day and telling me that it was my fault, that I was weak, that whatever, that I should just get angry and do it. And that's not the way to overcome it, you know. And actually it's kind of amazing that the way is just by accepting yourself and by changing. It's all more positive than you think, and it's all counterintuitive. You know, it's, I mean, definitely you think that fighting it would make you snap out of it. You know, that when you have a problem, you fight it, you get aggressive and you get bigger and you do it. But it's counterintuitive. You know, actually it makes sense once you realize it. It makes sense that, you know, you shouldn't fight it, that the more you fight it and the more aggressive that is a negative emotion, the more that is going to grow and make yourself, you know, feel worse. So, you know, there are counterintuitive techniques and positive stuff. I don't know, it's just, it's really beautiful to make the therapy and to see yourself change. You know, now I'm in college, I'm able to talk, I'm able to go shopping, you know, I'm able to do everything that I want. You know, I don't feel those, still I have like irrational thoughts, but I don't have irrational feelings anymore. And that's so important, you know, because we all know that we have irrational thoughts, but a few people know that we have also irrational feeling, and that's basically what social anxiety is. So I'd really recommend you to go try. I hope this video helped. Somehow I didn't have much time to edit, I didn't have much time to really think about what I have to say. You know, I'm in college, you know, I try to study and pass. But I don't know, I think it's going to help you. If you have any question, I'm happy to answer them. And check out Dr. Richard's tapes, or check out any other doctor or whatever, or go to a therapist, but definitely try and do overcome social anxiety. There is an exit out of it, and it's not as hard as you may think that it is. So that's it. Okay, so I have so many more things to add to this video. Things that it's harder to make videos than I thought it was, because, you know, I could be literally hours talking about this. You know, it wasn't just a thing that I overcame, and, you know, it seems like that in this video. It seems like it was something that I just overcame and, you know, nothing happened. It was really, really amazing. You know, it made me cry, a lot of things, to think how I changed, how my life, I was going to be dead, definitely. Maybe not, you know, yeah, even physically, you know, I had even suicide thoughts in my head, you know, and even if I wasn't gonna kill myself, I was gonna be way worse than I am going to be because of, I'm me now. I'm not me with social anxiety. I'm just finally me. And there are so many things that happen. So many things I had wrong. Social anxiety also helped me. To remove social anxiety also helped me to overcome and be better at other things, like my fear of heights, my fear of spiders, of a lot of things. If I wanna, there are relationships. I think there's a relationship between social anxiety and abusive relationships, with girlfriends and things like that. And I just wanted to talk and, bring on the importance of social anxiety to normal people, because I think that it's something that I didn't knew about. I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know until I found information online, because I really felt like something was wrong with me. Until I was like 18 or so, yeah, or like 19. I don't know. I didn't even know that this existed. So I wanted to bring awareness of this. I wanted to make a video of people that have social anxiety, but at the same time, I want to make another video for people that don't have social anxiety, just to make sure that that parents especially treat their children, and teachers. That there are so many teachers that could have helped me, and that could have, with just a simple word, with just a simple conversation, they would have helped me to realize that I had social anxiety way before, and saved me a lot of years of suffering and be locked in my room. So definitely, I can talk way more about this that I have talked. But it's like I said, it's not as easy as I thought to make videos. I don't really know what you guys. What's the best video that I can make? Maybe I do some more videos about this. I don't know, but I just hope that if you have social anxiety, that's my main goal here. If you have social anxiety, I just hope that there is a solution. That it's not your personality, it's not who you are. You're a different person, and maybe you don't even know yourself because of social anxiety, and people definitely don't know you. I don't know, and this just reminded me, because I was talking about my teachers and how they didn't help me. But one thing that is important is that people don't know you have social anxiety. It's amazing to me. I don't know, I stammered like 16 times in one classroom reading a book. And definitely, if I see that, I know that person has social anxiety. And because also it's pretty common, like 5% of the population has it in all the different countries, and it doesn't really change that much. And so definitely more people more than you that have social anxiety, and everyone probably knows more than one person with social anxiety. But people don't realize how bad it is. People don't realize that it's a problem, and people don't even realize you're nervous. People don't know when you are anxious. They just don't know, and it has been amazing to me to realize and to talk to people and confess that I had social anxiety in the past, and they get so surprised because they really didn't know. There are even people that thought that I talk too much, or which is weird. So I don't know, there are so many things that I wanted to talk about, and I can't, because I gotta do other things. I gotta or I could, but I haven't organized myself enough to really express what I want to express, because it will take hours, as I said, to explain everything. To explain my story, to explain my story, how it changed, all the things that have changed since I started doing the therapy, all the problems that I had before doing the therapy. I don't know, a lot of things. So I just hope that it helped you, that at least that there is a possibility that you're not bound to be suffering from social anxiety all your life, that you can change it. And like I said, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. So I guess I'll see you in another video.